Would you want to live forever? Sounds amazing, right? Tuck Everlasting is a book that asks that exact question, and the answer might surprise you.
If I handed you a magic bottle of water and told you that taking a single sip would let you live forever, would you drink it? That is the exact dilemma facing 10-year-old Winnie Foster. It's the first week of August, the hottest, most stagnant time of the year in the quiet town of Tree Gap. Winnie spends her days cooped up in her family's touch-me-not cottage. Her parents and grandmother closely monitor her every move, keeping her safely locked behind a heavy iron fence, completely insulated from the outside world. Winnie slips out of her yard and runs away into her family's private woods, finally crossing the iron fence into the unknown. Deep among the ash trees, she stumbles across a 17-year-old boy named Jesse Tuck, drinking from a small, hidden spring bubbling up through the roots. When Winnie asks for a sip to cool down, Jesse immediately panics. He adamantly refuses to let her touch the water, no matter how much she begs. Before Winnie can argue, the rest of the Tuck family arrives. Realizing Winnie has seen too much, the Tucks hoist her up and flee. They explain that they aren't trying to hurt her. They are desperately trying to protect a secret that defies the natural laws of human existence. The spring water grants eternal life. The Tuck family drank from it 87 years ago, and since that day, they have been entirely unable to age, grow, or die. For Jesse, being frozen as a teenager is an endless adventure. He secretly hands Winnie a small bottle of the water, begging her to drink it when she turns 17 so they can travel the world together. But Jesse's father, Pa Tuck, sees things differently. He pulls Winnie aside to explain the exhausting, heavy burden of being permanently stuck while the rest of the world moves past you. He describes existence as a giant wheel. For the natural order to work, living things must die to make room for new growth. The Tucks have fallen completely off that wheel. Winnie now holds an enormous choice. She can drink from the bottle and join Jesse in a permanent pause, or she can accept the natural cycle of aging and eventual death. Before she can decide, a stranger arrives. The man in the yellow suit has tracked the family down. He knows their secret and plans to claim the woods, bottle the spring water, and sell it to the highest bidder. When he tries to forcibly take Winnie away to use her as leverage, May's maternal instincts kick in. She steps forward and swings a shotgun down on the man's head, killing him. The local constable witnesses the strike and throws May in the Tree Gap jail. She is sentenced to hang at the gallows. If the drop fails to kill her, the world will discover the secret of the spring. Under the cover of a massive thunderstorm, Winnie sneaks out of her house. She helps pry the bars off May's window and willingly climbs into the jail cell to take her place, buying the Tuck family enough time to flee the town. In the quiet of the jail cell, Winnie accepts the risk of prison to protect her friends and the world from the spring's influence. Weeks later, Winnie watches a neighborhood dog corner a toad in her yard. Rather than saving Jesse's bottled water for herself, she pours it over the toad, choosing to protect the animal while cementing her own fate. 67 years pass. May and Pa Tuck finally return to a completely modernized Tree Gap, only to find that an electrical storm and bulldozers have wiped out the woods and paved over the magic spring forever. Searching for answers, Pa Tuck wanders into the local cemetery. There, he finds Winnie's gravestone. The inscription reveals she became a wife and mother and died at the age of 78. Winnie never went back to the spring. She chose to experience the full natural progression of her life, proving she understood that outliving everyone you love is a heavy price to pay. All of this leaves the reader with a lingering question. Why would Natalie Babbitt take the concept of eternal life and treat it like a tragedy? Because having an infinite amount of time removes the urgency to actually use it. The limitation of death gives our actions meaning and pushes us to do something important with the days we have. Winnie's refusal to step off that wheel of life doesn't make her a victim. It makes her the true hero of her own story. For managing to address the weight of mortality within a tight, focused narrative, I give Tuck Everlasting 5 out of 5 toads.
Tuck Everlasting is a small book that asks one of the biggest questions in any middle grade novel. What would it actually be like to live forever?
Natalie Babbitt writes the Tuck family's strange, slightly tired immortality with extraordinary care, and Winnie's choice at the end is genuinely moving.
And if you liked Tuck Everlasting, try The Search for Delicious by Babbitt. Same gentle wisdom, lighter mood. And for a less obvious recommendation, A Wrinkle in Time by Madeline L'Engle, another middle grade novel that takes big questions seriously for its young readers.